Hello everyone. Last class we discussed about demographic profile of India. This class we are going to discuss about demographic profile of Karnataka. The total geographical area in Karnataka is 1,91,791 square kilometers. That is the geographical area of Karnataka. And the population here we can say, according to 2001 census, it acquires nearly 5 crores 28 lakhs 50,562. That is the population of Karnataka according to 2001 census. And according to 2011 census, it is 6 crores 10 lakhs 95,297. That is the population of Karnataka according to 2001 as well as the according to 2011 census. So here we can see the geographical area as well as the, when we take the population of India, here we can say 10 years once we have a difference here. So from 2001 census to 2011 census, we could see the difference here. Then when we take the sex ratio of Indian society, for 1000 males, there are 973 females in the Karnataka. So according to, that is the census report according to 2011. So 2011 we could find that for 1000 males there are 973 females. Then we can see according to 2011 census, the contribution from Karnataka, the population is 5.05% contribution of population which we could find from Karnataka. So this is the overall population of Karnataka which we could find according to 2011 as well as the 2001 census. So the demographic profile of Karnataka, first point is rural urban population in Karnataka. So we could find in Karnataka there are many districts. So in that how the population has been distributed in the this particular geographical area. So we could find Bangalore is most populated districts which we could find according to 2011 census. So the contribution of population by Bangalore is 96 lakhs 21,552 persons which we could find, and in percentage it is 15.75. And also Kodagu districts, it is the least populated district. Okay, the contribution of Kodagu is 0.91%. That is the contribution of Kodagu to Karnataka state. Then we could find the distribution in rural area as well as the urban area. In rural area, it is 61.33% of the people, they live in rural areas, and 38.67% of the people, they live in urban areas. So that is the distribution in rural as well as the urban areas. And we could find that there is increase in the urban areas population because of the modernization, because of the westernization as well as the developmental process what is taking place in the society. We could find the changes in the urban area, the population is increasing. So increase in the population according to 2001 and 2011 census, when we see here, it has increased to 4.68%. It has been increased. The population has been increased in the Karnataka. Then here we can see Bangalore, we see that is the most urbanized district. So in this we could find 90.94% of the population, they reside in urban area, Bangalore. Then following that we could find Dharwad, Dakshin Kannada, Mysore, etc. Those are some of the places which contributed to the urban population. Then least urbanized district is Kodagu, because in Kodagu we could find that the people, most of the people they are residing in their own estates, all these things which we could find. They don't reside, the very less population, they reside in the urban area. So that is 14.61% of the people, they reside in the urban area. So that is the least urbanized district in Karnataka. Then with that, preceding that, we can see there are many districts like Koppala, then Mandya, Chamarajanagar, so etc. All these are the places where we have the least population which we could find. Then in addition to, when we see according to 2001 and 2011 census, when we compare these two census here, we could find the population has been increased like anything. So comparing to 2001 and 2011 census, it has increased to 82,44,735 persons have been increased in Karnataka. So that is the difference for 2001 census to 2011 census. So here the growth rate, when we take here, Bangalore is the highest growth rate district. The growth rate of the population is more in Bangalore comparing to other districts. Then with that, Chikmagalur, it has the negative growth rate, that is minus 0.26%. That is the contribution to the Karnataka state. So here we could find that the growth rate of Bangalore as well as the growth rate of Chikmagalur, when we compare here, growth rate of Bangalore is highest comparing to the Chikmagalur, because the contribution here we can see Chikmagalur contribution growth rate in 2011 census, it is minus 0.26%. So here we can find that the overall population in rural as well as the urban areas, when we see here, the people reside in both the places. But nowadays we can see that because of the facilities what they have in the urban areas, many people are migrating from rural to urban areas in search of occupation, it may be, or in search of education or for the development. So because of all these things, they are attracted to the urban areas and they are moving to the urban areas. And still, in spite of all these things, still we have the nearly 65% of the people, they reside in rural areas. Second point, sex ratio in Karnataka. The meaning of sex ratio is for 1000 males, how many females we have in Karnataka. Okay. So here according to 2001 census, we could find there are 965 females for 1000 males. According to 2011 census, for 1000 males, there are 973 females. So the differences we can see there, from 965 to it has increased to 973. So we can see the changes there. And here we could find sex ratio for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes are identically, we have the changes. Overall the state, when we see here, it is lesser comparing to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. So the increase we can see here, 990 persons for 1000 males, there are 990 females in SCs and STs. And also highest sex ratio of Karnataka is Udupi districts, that contributes more than 1094 females for 1000 males. So there are more females than the males in Udupi district. And the lowest sex ratio is in Bangalore. That is, for 1000 males, there are 916 females. So that is the lowest sex ratio which we could find in Karnataka. So highest sex ratio is Udupi districts and lowest sex ratio is Bangalore. And here we could find female population is higher in Chikmagalur than Kodagu, Hassan, Dakshin Kannada as well as Udupi. So in these districts which we can see, the female population is more than 1000 females which we can see. Okay, more than 1000 females in these particular districts which we can see. In all other districts, when we see here, there are lesser number of females comparing to the males. So that is the sex ratio which we can see, differences between the male as well as the female population. And we will move on to the third point, that is density in Karnataka. What is the meaning of density? Density means the number of persons for every square kilometer area. How many persons reside for one particular square meter? In that particular geographical area, how many people are living? If it is more, that is density. Okay. So here in 2001 census, Bangalore urban districts, here it has a highest density of population. It has a highest density of population, that is 2985 persons they live in 1 square kilometer. So that is the highest density, the more number of people they are living in one particular geographical area. And also lowest density is Kodagu. The number of people they reside in one particular geographical area, lowest people which we can see, because already I told you the people they live in different places where we can see majority of them we can see they live in the estates. So because of that the density is less in the Kodagu district. Then according to 2001 census, density of population is 276. Then according to 2011 census, density of population is 319. So that is the increase which we can see. It has been increased from 276 to 319. So that is the changes which we have. The number of people are more in one particular geographical area. Then here we can see in Bangalore especially, we call that as a metropolitan city. So this place is developing like anything. So because of that people they move to Bangalore in search of occupation, in search of education, in search of livelihood, they move to urban area. So in Bangalore the population is increased. So comparing to 2001 census as well as the 2011 census, there is lots of changes. According to 2001 census, 2,985 persons which we can see. But according to 2011 census, it has increased to 4,378 people who are living in one particular 1 square kilometer. So that is the changes which we have. So here we can see that the population of Karnataka, it has been increased. So geographical area as well as the population when we compare here, we have more number of people who are living in one particular geographical area. So that is the difference from one place to another place which we could find. Fourth point, scheduled caste population in Karnataka. The population of Karnataka we could find it is also a contribution from scheduled caste also. So it has we could see that the population of Karnataka has been increasing, and the scheduled caste population according to 2001 census, it is 85,63,930 persons we can see, and according to 2011 census it has been increased, that is 1,04,74,992 persons we could find. Okay, here according to 2011 census it is 1,04,74,992 persons are residing in Karnataka. So that is the population of scheduled caste. So in this scheduled caste population contribution for the state is 17.15% of total population of the state. Total population of Karnataka here, the contribution from scheduled caste is 17.15%. And highest proportion of scheduled caste people, they reside in Kolar district, that is 30.32% of the population are scheduled caste people. And we here followed by Chamarajanagar, that is 25.42% of the population are from scheduled caste. Then the least proportion of the population of scheduled caste is in Udupi, which we could find, that is 6.41% of scheduled caste people, they reside in Udupi. So that is the distribution of population of scheduled caste people. So in Karnataka we could find the scheduled caste people are there in all the districts, but highest population we could find in Kolar and Chamarajanagar, and least are in the Udupi. So this is the contribution of scheduled caste for the population. Fifth one, scheduled tribe population in Karnataka. So in this, according to 2001 and 2011 census, the population differs. According to 2001 census, it is 34,63,986 persons are from scheduled tribes. And according to 2011 census, 42,48,987 persons are from scheduled tribes. So that is the proportion of scheduled tribe population to Karnataka state. and proportion of scheduled tribes population to the Karnataka state, here we can see that 6.95% of the population which we could find in the overall population of Karnataka. Then highest proportion in Karnataka is from Raichur, that is 19.03% of the population are from Raichur. And least proportion of the scheduled tribes which we can see in Karnataka is from Mandya, that is 1.24% of the scheduled tribes, they are from Mandya district. So this is the population distribution of scheduled tribes in the Karnataka. It varies from district to districts, which we could find in some districts, especially in Raichur is the highest proportion, that is 19.03%, and the least is Mandya. So in overall all the districts which we can see, some proportion of the scheduled tribes are residing in the Karnataka state. And next we will move on to 6th point, that is literacy rate in Karnataka. So literacy rate in Karnataka which we could find, it is different from one particular census to another census. So according to 2001 census, 66.64% of the people are literate in Karnataka. According to 2011 census, it is 75.36% of the people are literate in Karnataka. So there is a difference from 2001 census to 2011 census, we can see the changes. Then in the male as well as the female literacy rate, we can see the changes from 2001 to 2011. In 2001, male literacy rate is 76.10%. According to 2011 census, male literacy rate is 82.47%, and female literacy rate according to 2001 is 56.87%, and according to 2011 census, female literacy rate is 68.08%. That is the literacy rate of male as well as the female according to 2001 and 2011 census. So we can see the changes there. It has been increased from 2001 to 2011. The literacy rate of Karnataka has been increased. Then the topmost position, the district, especially Dakshin Kannada, it has been occupied. Nearly 88.57% of the people are literate in Dakshin Kannada. That is the topmost position which we have in Karnataka. Then after that, followed by some of the districts like Bangalore, Udupi. So those are also contributing to the highest literacy rate. And the least literacy rate in Karnataka is Yadgiri district. So that is 51.83% of the people are literates in Yadgiri district, and preceded by Raichur, that is 59.56% of the people are literates. So that is the changes which we can see in the Yadgiri as well as the Raichur. So here the topmost is the Dakshin Kannada and the lowest position is Yadgiri district. So there is a changes in the literacy rate. From one district to another district, we have a changes in the literacy rate. So that overall literacy rate of Karnataka, when we take here, we could find 2001 and 2011 census, we have a differences here. So automatically it has been increasing in the present society because the facilities which they are giving. So here they have made the compulsory education till 14 years, free and compulsory education for the 14 years. So till there the child can get the education. So the facilities to attract the children, they have given many facilities like midday meals as well as free books, free uniforms. So all these are the some of the facilities which they are giving to attract the children to the schools. So automatically the dropout of the children from the schools is decreasing and literacy rate is increasing in the Karnataka. So these are the some of the points which comes under demographic profile of Karnataka. So that includes the population of Karnataka. It is distributed in a different ways, and there is a difference here. We can see urban area, rural area, as well as in the literacy rates. So all these things we have a changes from. We have taken the census 2001 as well as the 2011 census differences here. Next topic, population policy of India. So in this topic, how how the policies have been affecting on the population. So in this chapter we have studied about the population of Indian society, so the increase as well as the changes, then we could find the problems which the society is facing. So automatically we can say in Indian society, this is the second most populous country in the world after China. So it is very important to control the population of Indian society, so that the society will employ different types of plannings here to control the population. So in India, it is the first country which has been implemented family planning policy here. So that has been implemented in 1972. That is the first policy which has been introduced, and this is the first country which has been introduced the family planning policy. Then we can see that this has been in 1977, we could find it was named first as a family planning. Then after that in 1977 they changed this name as a family welfare. From family planning to they changed the name as a family welfare. Then the government of India, so United Nations Population Fund, so it has been spread some guidelines here. So according to the guidelines, so it says like this: first child and spacing the subsequent births is very important. So that is first child and spacing the subsequent births is very important. That is the guidelines given by the United Nations Population Fund. This guideline has been implemented here. Then the primary health care centers especially we could find that has been taken the important steps here. So the primary health care centers that has been working for the people to give some information here. First of all, it is doing the two main functions here. One is that it is providing the services to the people, what and all services they need to control the population, as well as what actually the facilities they need. So all these facilities are given by the services are given by the primary health care centers. And the second important one is information. So people are having a lack of information about the family planning measures as well as the problems what they face. So because of the lack of information, we can feel that in some of the places we could find the literacy rate is very low. So in spite of all these things, here we could find primary health care centers, it is trying to give some information, that is through some programs. It is conducting some programs in the rural areas and trying to give the knowledge for the people what actually the family planning is and how effective it is, and if population increases in the society, what will happen and what are the problems we are going to face in the society. So the primary health care centers are trying to give the information to the people. So these are the two important works which they are doing. And with that we can see the major objective of family planning is that to increase individual happiness and to enhance health of the society. That is the major objective of the family planning, that is to increase individual happiness and to enhance health of the society. If we need a healthy society, it is very important each and every individual has to understand the problems here, especially the population problems, what we are facing. If the population is increasing like this, so how effective it is to the society and what are the difficulties we can feel. If we ourselves, if we understand, then we can see that we ourselves we can overcome of all these problems. Next one, National Population Policy 2000. So in this policy, there are some objects which we can see. So according to this policy here we can see the object of National Population Policy 2000 is to bring the total fertility rate to replacement levels by 2010. So by 2010 they had to change the problems, total fertility rate has to be replaced. So that is the intention of this particular policy. So this particular policy, it has some goals. The goals of this particular policy is, first one is reduce infant mortality rate. That is the first one. It means reducing the infant mortality rate. Now infants means 0 to 4 years. The child born from that moment, 0, from there to 4 years. So that is the infant age which we can see. So the death rate is more in that particular age. So trying to reduce that particular death rate. So because of different reasons which we can see, and some of the points which we have already studied. So one is that main intention is that to have a male child. That is also one intention which we have studied because of some of the beliefs which we have. So trying to reduce the infant mortality rate, that is the first one. And second one is reduce maternal mortality rate. So reducing maternal mortality rate, especially during the delivery time, which we can see. Many women we can see, many mothers, they because of some health issues, they die during this particular time. So trying to reduce the mortality rate of the mothers. Then next one is third one, achieve universal immunization of children against all preventable diseases. So trying to give all the vaccines, whatever vaccines we have. So for the children, what they need actually to prevent the diseases in the future days. The child may face a different types of health issues in the future. So what vaccines are very important for the children, and trying to produce that particular vaccines, and each and every child of the country has to get the vaccines. So that is one important goal. And the fourth one is achieve institutional deliveries and by the experts, the persons who are experts, from them. The delivery especially which we can see in the past some years back when we go here, and even presently also in some places which we could find, the deliveries takes place in the house without any medical precautions which we can see. Any medical facilities, the deliveries takes place. So because of that, maternal deaths which we can see. So trying to reduce these problems, which we can see that if the deliveries takes place in the institutions, that is particular hospitals itself, if the deliveries takes place with the experts, that is the persons who are educated, the persons who are doctors who can do these things. So especially from them, if the deliveries takes place, then automatically the death rate also will decrease, and some of the health issues which they face may decrease in the society. The next one is achieve 100% of registration. So now we can see that birth, death, marriage and divorce, this has to be registered. But in because of lack of information as well as because of ignorance of the people, these things has been not registered in some places. So it is compulsory that birth, death, marriage as well as divorce, if it is registered, if we have the 100% of registration in the society, then we get the one proper number of population in the society. So it is very important to register these things. Next one is that, sixth one, prevent and control communicable diseases. So now we can see some of the communicable diseases which we have. So trying to prevent those communicable diseases which a society is facing. So trying to give knowledge for the people. So how to prevent these things, how to take the precautions for the communicable diseases and give knowledge about these things, as well as trying to control the disease in the society. So this will automatically decrease the mortality rate in the society. Seventh one, promote vigorously the small family norm to achieve TFR, that is total fertility rate. So here, encourage the people to have a small family. If they have a small family, what is the importance of the small family? If they have a small family, economically as well as socially, how to develop? So give the knowledge about that. So if they know about these things, then automatically we can see that we can achieve a total fertility rate. And the eighth one, contain the spread of AIDS, the problem of AIDS which we have. So trying to contain, that is the trying to stop the spread of the AIDS. Then ninth one, needs for basic reproductive and child health services, supplies and infrastructure. So what actually the infrastructure they need for the reproductive as well as the child health, what are the services actually they need here. So the important services as well as the what infrastructure they need, if they provide these things, then trying to give some knowledge about these things here. So it is important to try to control the fertility rate. Next one is 10th one, make school education compulsory. So it is important to give knowledge, especially So, if the person is educated, then we can, at least he can understand what is family planning and what are the problems we have actually, and how to adopt these things, and these are very important ones. So, it is very important the child has to get education here. So, it is very important that make compulsory education till 14 years. So, till 14 years, if a child is free and compulsory education, this has been adopted now, which we could find in the Indian society. So, here we can see that is one point which we can find. Next one, 11th one, information or counseling and services for fertility regulation and contraception. So, it is important to give information as well as the counseling for the people about what actually the information they need about the fertility regulation as well as the contraception. What are the methods they had to use for the family planning measures. So, if they had to get the information as well as counseling. For example, we can see in some of the rural areas, when they conduct the programs, primary healthcare centers we could find, they conduct the programs. But many people, they ignore about the programs. They are not ready to adopt the contraceptives. So, it is very important that to give knowledge about that, what are the contraceptives we have and how to adopt these contraceptives and how effectively it will work on the society's problems. So, if we adopt those things, how we can overcome the problems. So, these are the information which is necessary. If they are provided with this, then automatically we can control the fertility rate. Then next one is take appropriate steps to make family welfare program a people-centered program. So, here it is not that now we can see family welfare program means it is now we have the mentality that it is reserved only for the families, but it is important that we had to change that particular concept. It should become a people welfare program, not only the family welfare program, because if this particular program has been implemented, family welfare program, if this is implemented in the society, it is not meant only for the people in that particular family, because each family, it depends on the society. So, each family, it consists of society. So, because of that, if everyone, if we have the knowledge about these things, what are the measures we have to take, and if we have the information, so that we can spread the information to other people also. So, that it is very important that we have to, instead of calling this as a family welfare program, it has to become a people welfare program. So, if it becomes a people welfare program, so that the people can get information about these things and they can try to control the population of Indian society. So, what we have presently, the population explosion. So, we can see that India is called the second most populous country in the world. So, we are, because of the population, we are facing a different types of problems here. So, we could find geographical area, we have lack of geographical area, water problem, then we could find that housing problem, unemployment. So, different types of problems which we are facing. So, if we adopt these things, automatically we could find that some changes will take place in the society. So, first of all, the information to the people is very important here. So, these are the nearly 12 goals which we have. So, these are the goals of the National Population Policy 2000. So, according to this particular policy, some have been implemented on, already we can see that those policies are working and we are trying to achieve some of the things in the present society. So, in this unit, we have completed all the topics here in the first unit, and in the further classes, we will move on to the next unit. Okay, thank you. Have a good day.